to lose all than watch his adversary or his friend turned adversary regain preeminence.
Exactly.
Abure, when they held that stakeholders meeting on September 4, many of us felt, look, because in the past, Peter Obi sat on the fence. He did not want to show his hand, like a person playing a game of cards. He did not want to show his hand. But ultimately, I knew that he will go to the side where he believes there are far more people. Because for Peter Obi, 2027 is very much in his heart. Everything that he does, everything that he says, he has 2027 in mind. If you think he will say some things that will cause him to hurt his chances, then you don't know what you are doing. He will not say what will hurt his chances in 2027. He has 2027 firmly hedged in the inner recesses of his heart. So he's calculating every move. When others moved against him back then, he did not want to take side. But I wasn't surprised when they came together for that September 4 meeting, and he was there. The governor, the sole governor, Alex Oti was also there, and Nenadi Stausman, the geographer who was once Nigeria's finance minister, was made the caretaker chairman of the party, and people felt, Abure's time was gone. But the courts have now said, look, the convention that Abure held
in March
in March this year was valid. And I've said before that the fact that INEC did not attend. Because supervisors does not invalidate it. Especially when they notified INEC of their change of venue. For security reasons, they were moving the venue. They notified INEC of the change of venue, but INEC stayed away. So
and INEC did not also oppose that it was also in the report. Go ahead.
So that INEC didn't witness the convention does not invalidate it. And before not even a court had ruled that the fact that INEC was not there does not invalidate it.
Would you say that has set a precedence?
That set the tone for what will come later.
Wow.
That set the tone for what will come later. So I don't know what will happen as we go on with the legal battle. Right, I'm sure it will get to the Supreme Court. But Abure appears like somebody, a cat with 9 lives. At a point when they accused him of corruption and he was suspended,
it's still true.
The Court of Appeal ruled that you cannot suspend him in the manner that they are done. The convention of the party, the biggest or highest decision-making organ of the party, the organ that can suspend. No, not the end of the convention.
Convention.
The convention is the highest decision-making organ. It's stronger than NEC. That is where you can suspend.
Only that convention can wield the big stick.
Leadership at world level cannot ask a national chairman. So that had been affirmed. I know that they are not going to leave him alone. And as we go on, we'll see this kind of battles continue. NNPP has their own. I was reading what an NNPC official said the other day, that is the APC that is dividing. It's a very silly thing to say.
It's not allowing them.
What were you?
We've been there.
You knew that a ruling party would be happy to see you people.
No, it's not by the group.
Why are you people too selfish to come together to say, okay,
we're going to give him a fight?
Yes, let's not any step that they are going to take.
Let's give him a fight.
See, when the APC, when they were trying to build the APC as a political party to challenge the
PDP at that time,
all of the battles, the different quarrels they had, they brushed aside. I remember during a book launch, I think it was Amechi or Erufai that was saying,
Rotimi.
yes. You know, I think it was Amechi or Rotimi or Erufai that said, we had quarrels, we had disagreements with Ashwaju and other people, but we told ourselves, look, we will quarrel, but let's win this election first. All. That is the way a proper opposition party, not populated by selfish and thoroughly ambitious people who put themselves above the party. That is the way. I mean, if you do not put yourself over the party, you will sacrifice everything just for the price. You know what the price is. You know what you want to achieve. You must come together and say, look, no matter what we
let's
go
apply
through,
the brakes.
Let's just make sure we win first. No, we can quarrel after the victory, but let's make sure we win first. Eyes on the ball. That is not how they are thinking. The way Kwankwaso is thinking is not the way Peter Obi is thinking. Neither of them will agree to work under the other person. No. Whatever you hear them say, they don't mean it. I remember even when it was suggested to Kwankwaso that it could be deputy to Peter Obi. He got angry. He felt insulted.
How could you say so?
He felt insulted. He was abroad. At that time, they asked him that question. So is that how we've seen opposition built in other lands? They come together. They work together. They agree.
Submit themselves to the center.
Yes. At the end of the day, they build a solid opposition that delivers victory in the final analysis. That's not how these ones are thinking.
But I have a problem.
Charles,
I have a problem with that antecedent.
No. We'll sort the problem out. But let's go on a break. We need to make some money now. Right. Well, let's go on the commercial break. We'll be back shortly. Please stay with us.
FCC announces the convocation of a national summit on cybercrime. The event with the theme Alternative to Cybercrime, Optimizing Cyber Skills for National Development is scheduled as follows. Date, Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. Venue, the Banquet Hall Presidential Villa, Abuja. Time, 9 a.m. Guest of honor, First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON. For inquiries, call 0803-703-9620. C.E. Wilson Owujari, Director of Public Affairs, announcer.
Do you believe in Nigeria? Oh, yes, I believe. Do you believe in our greatness? Oh, yes, I believe. Do you believe in our unity? Do you believe we can fight corruption? Oh, yes, I believe. I believe in Nigeria. Do you believe we can succeed? Oh, yes, I believe. I believe in Nigeria.
Let's believe in ourselves. Let's have the right attitude. We've got all it takes to get there.
I believe in Nigeria. Oh, yes, I believe.
Nigeria, believe. Powered by National Orientation Agency.
Home and quality, wires and cables. Home and come back, light up your life. Home and want to light up your household. Home and want to give you better. Home and extraordinary wire. Home and cables, home and wires. Home and quality, home and durable, home and capable. Home and cables, home and wires. Home and quality, home and durable, home and capable. Everybody, come and see. Home and wires, wonder things. Brother, sister, uncle, auntie, go get your own. Home and wires, home and cables, home and quality, home and durable, home and capable. Home and wires, home and cables, home and quality, home and durable, home and capable.
Home and wires and cable. Great quality. Now with the new look.
All right, folks, welcome back. We were discussing the development in the Labour Party. Now, the court has ruled that Barrister Julius Abure remains the bona fide chairman of the party. Yes. And INEC has said, okay.
Yes.
INEC is playing ball.
But I said I have a problem with the legal
Let's settle the problem.
Now, the legal precedent he said is that, like what he said, that INEC said that, the court said INEC doesn't necessarily have to be in attendance, or they don't have to show up there for it to validate any convention. Yes. Now, the problem I have is that, what about in the future, parties will just go and hold, maybe two parties, one hold one side, then which one would be recognized?
No, you see, the thing is...
So that's why I have a problem. Hold on.
Let me explain.
If you are heading the party, I have the party.
No, see,
yes.
No, see, you didn't get why they took that decision, you know. The party must show that it extended invitation to INEC, because it's a precondition before you can do a convention.
I do know that.
Good, ample notice. The party provided evidence that it
notified the empire. Yes.
When the venue changed, they were also notified. The judges are human beings. We shouldn't imagine that they are not sensible human beings. If, in obedience to the law, I let you know that I'm holding this thing, so. If for any reason you couldn't show up, it's not my fault.
Okay.
So they will look at that. Did they make moves to inform them? If they made moves and on their own they failed to show up, you know that you can't blame the party.
No, where I'm coming from,
that would be different. That would be different to the scenario that you are trying to paint.
Good.
That would be different. If you willfully organize a convention, you did not.
You did INEC's presence.
Yes, you did not put INEC in the mix.
Yes.
Then don't expect.
Okay, that may be running foul of the law.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what I wanted to clear.
Yes, because they notify them. And they were expecting them to be there.
The letters of the law, very important. It's communication. So it's okay, where I just said INEC doesn't have to be there. Okay, well, let's do a good do it. INEC or no INEC, that's what I'm saying.
But
can it be validated?
Charles, I'm happy you are not an interested party.
Well, you know that in coming to judgment, court will listen to
both parties.
And make deductions.
And then, because we are not slaves to the law, where the judge can apply common sense. The judge will apply common sense as against rigidly implementing the content of the law. So in this case, those guys did nothing wrong.
That's fine.
You know, and we have to commend INEC.
Exactly. For obeying
the court.
And that's how to build a very affordable democracy. Because if everybody will be obeying court order, then we will be in a banana republic.
Whether the law favors, whether the court order favors you or not.
But the court has said obey it first.
Move afterwards.
You cannot go to the appellate level.
All right, gentlemen, so we can only wish the Labour Party Godspeed from now. Okay, to our next story. You know, the Boy Scout time-honored motto, be prepared, comes to mind here. It provokes the question, was the Jigawa petrol tanker tragedy avoidable or not? At crucial moments, one must act first and think later in an emergency. Lagos State Chief Executive Babajide Sanwo-Olu, his Niger State counterpart Umar Bago, and the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, have all reacted to the very tragic petrol tanker explosion in a community in Jigawa State, which claimed reportedly 170 lives. The incident is heartbreaking and unfortunate, they all chorused, while they prayed for the souls of those who died in the inferno. The journalist Hangout family shares the grief of the families of survivors. Bikio. We do.
The question you asked earlier was this avoidable? The answer is yes. The articulated truck may still have burst into flames
without lives being lost.
Yes, because it tripped and then
it crashed or something.
It fell
on his side.
On his side.
Yeah, that's what we are saying.
Yes,
and
spilled its content.
Yeah.
But our people had no reason in the world to start scooping fuel from a tanker that had just fallen.
Yeah.
What we had was that it was trying to avoid a bump or something, and then...
Obviously, without passing moral judgment here, the driver must have been speeding.
You don't have to speed for the truck to fall.
Okay.
It's articulated. Anything
Yes.
happen.
This can happen. We have seen even where it happened with vehicles in front and vehicles behind. And so those vehicles were then burnt. People died.
Right.
So it doesn't have to fall, or it doesn't have to be overspeeding. Our people do not have to start scooping fuel. We've done this many times with the same outcome.
That's it.
But our people will not learn.
I was telling Charles before we talked about OD
happened
where people scooped petrol like
and
this.
then in Lagos, where there was a bus pipeline. Remember that time where somebody said he was smoking and then the thing caught fire.
No, even if you had, if you strike an iron on the third road,
of course, it sparks.
A fire.
It can.
So this thing, and because it's highly flammable,
it is.
The content that is spilled running across for like 100 meters, you are at the tip of that 100 meter
distance
at the end,
you are going to be burnt. Because it moves rapidly.
Yeah, rapidly.
Yes.
And then it kills people. I was told that even some of the people went to try to dissuade the villagers from scooping the fuel. They were not spared.
Yeah.
Because a man told the story of one of his children who had gone to scoop fuel, and he told the uncle that, look, go and tell my son to leave that place. The uncle himself was caught in the
flame. Inferno.
Yes, and he died. So we must
avoidably
tell our people there's nothing you gain. It's just like the same, even crude oil, people trying to steal crude oil. You can catch fire and you lose your life. Look at the one that happened in Imo State, I think 2 or 3 years ago. See the way it burned people. People will not learn. I don't know whether poverty has so much to, or just greed.
But you have heard the song, "Na poor I poor, and no grace." I don't know if you understand.
Well, even if it's diesel is not highly flammable.
Yeah. It is not. Yeah.
But you must also not take that risk with diesel.
Yeah. So, but no, it's because you mentioned poverty. So, poverty makes you lose
I think it's a combination of poverty and greed. Because stealing or scooping fuel from a falling tanker will not take you out of poverty.
Okay.
But that's not what to take you. You are just going to make a little money.
We are told petrol is a good servant, but a bad master.
Well, but again, how about the role of education in this? Because I was telling
enlightenment.
I was telling Steve Jones, I said, well, before we came on there, now, will somebody like me with my education, see a tanker falling, because I see content, I will go there, or somebody...
It makes no sense.
So it makes no sense. I think there's a role of education over there, so that when people are told that even...
Look at the inferno. Look at the inferno.
Charles, there is a video that they are sharing that I saw. You see the way our people were scooping fuel. I don't know how that one ended. Maybe eventually it caught fire.
Or they succeeded.
You see the number of people there.
Buckets, all manner of containers.
All kinds of containers, they were scooping
all ages, children in cases.
Everybody.
There was an accident on the way to Kogi State that one of my guys narrowly escaped death in it.
Wow.
He said because there was a tanker that fell.
It blocked
they quickly ran.
They ran,
across. He said within seconds.
Explosion.
People at
that point,
materialized at the scene.
Wow.
They wanted to start scooping.
Wow.
They had to chase them away. They had to chase them away. It will have led to a disaster. Our people need to stop this.
Yes.
You cannot. The enlightenment has to be sustained that when these things happen, because accidents will happen.
No, because don't you remember OD? People who scooped petrol supposedly to the safety of a building. When the fire came, it got to that building.
He looked for them wherever they were.
That's the thing. It's highly flammable.
Yes,
so
exactly.
It travels.
The fume travels. It's airborne.
It will get to the end.
It's airborne. It's airborne. It's airborne. But in the midst of this, we're talking about enlightenment. Can we also enlighten the federal government that we should leave this analog way of transporting petroleum product using trailer or these trucks?
Ideally, in the past,
yes,
we use
the rail. The rail system is getting better.
Do you think, even in the past when we used rail, we still had tankers?
But
the rail cannot go everywhere.
We know that. But
so my town now, my small town,
or your village.
Since Baba said I must not
your
call
village.
it village. And it's village that keeps coming to my mind. Because in those days when we were growing up, when they would say, let's go
to the village.
We'll go to the village. We'll go and watch the masquerade. Masquerade flogging people. They will be singing those songs.
So Baba is not a monarch of a village. That's what he wants.
He doesn't like to hear it. You are looking for a trouble when
Baba is a monarch.
You know,
of a village.
Yeah, but as a kid growing up, always having every December, we were always thinking of going home.
Yeah.
In fact,
I think going home is better than say going to the village.
We look forward to it. So that was what we were calling. When my friends will be asking me, when are you people going to the village?
Don't try to.
As you are growing up now, there is so much development.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a much bigger town.
Urbanization is
so it's a much bigger community now, you know.
Yeah.
It's still not as big as I would want it to be.
Expanding.
It's expanding.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like those days when if you look both ways, you've seen it all. At least it is still
developing.
You know, so permit me to drop this. My village today houses the Akwa Ibom State University in Akwa Ibom. So you don't call it village,
it happens
town.
So
you are looking for
I've come. I'm the only one from town here. I'm the only one from town.
No, since Papa said it must. Who told you? I've agreed to call it.
That was an acquired name.
Since that's what Baba wants, and I don't want.
Okay, no trouble. Maybe watch it.
Otherwise, he will hold the. Why did you call me?
But okay, as it's developing, then rail might come there, and then we can.
I'm saying rail. Which rail will come to? When will rail come to that place? When will rail?
Well, you never can tell.
No.
Even what we are doing now, is not. We are targeting urban center. Thinking
for now,
urban centers and all that. I don't know whether even as we try to take rail, link Lagos, our commercial capital, with our administrative capital, Abuja. Whether to pass through my
your town,
so it's our wish to see if it happens, we'll be happy. So but even if it happens,
it's not,
you will still use trucks.
You will.
You will still use trucks
from the city center. You need to take
all
trucks.
Of these ones in between our houses.
Yeah.
Like see, we should go to that place.
The other side.
Ikosiba.
Ikosiba.
Okay.
Your usual hangout. If you go there now, there's a filling station.
Oh yeah, I know.
A spitting distance.
I turned from there before I came in.
So, are you going to use rail to go and deliver?
But again,
let our people just behave themselves. If a truck trips, it's not, and its piece is content. Run far away from the place.
But again,
because an explosion will happen.
Oh, yes.
And it will take life.
You know, we said something about copying from people who are or countries that are advancing. Is it possible for us to look at maybe Angola and other areas how they are doing theirs too?
How are they doing?
No, it's a historical question.
Have you read that they don't use trucks?
No, that's what I'm asking. It's a historical question.
This is a rural
but in a reduced
Sorry.
This is a rural community.
Yes.
In Taura local government, Magia. It's a rural community.
Okay.
So you still have to deliver, and it was passing through.
I give up.
It was going to Yobe. It wasn't like came to even deliver.
All right, gentlemen, as they say, a word is enough for the wise. Now, what more do we need to add? The carnage in Jigawa was
it's not the first time.
It was avoided.
That's happened over and over everywhere.
I hope for a long time we will be given a break.
That's fine.
Okay, to our last story, not the least though. You know, the uneasy calm in the education sector is disturbing indeed, if you ask me. The Congress of University Academics, CONUA for short, has protested its exclusion from the list of staff unions recognized by the federal government. The Congress is all the more miffed by its exclusion from the list of related unions invited by the federal government to renegotiate the 2009 agreement with the unions. Now, the national president of CONUA, Nii Sumonu, has addressed his concerns to the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman. In the same vein, both the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, and the Non-Academic Staff Union, NASU, slammed the federal government's renegotiation committee. With both unions describing the event as a charade, the days ahead are very tendentious ones. Don't you think?
I think so. It doesn't seem as if there's any truth in place or in sight. But the authorities, led by the minister, must recognize the fact he is also from the academia. So you ought to understand better that the university system has several categories within the workforce. Okay, you have non-teaching staff, teaching staff, others, the allied. These are all, they have unions that represent their individual interests.
Parts of a whole.
It's the system, the university system, as I said, has these categories of these workers who are, some of them bear chalk, some of them don't bear chalks, some of them work, but they have this allied, they render allied services and all that to the university system. So when you are looking at how to solve these problems, you don't have to glorify one of them and then vilify, if you will, the other.
The exclusion of the other.
What we realize is that ASHO has been given the almighty role to play, to the exclusion of others. But they are saying, no, but we're also part of the whole system. So I think what they need to do, this renegotiation, I think this is about the fourth time they're doing this since 2017. You once had the Babalakin renegotiation committee. You had the Mauza, I can't remember how that Jubril. They also have You also have the Nimi Briggs, the very recent one in 2022. So whatever renegotiation they are doing for them to look at how they can go back to that 2009 agreement, whether you call it MOU or MOA, whatever nomenclature, the other categories of the workforce in the university system must not be looked down upon. All of them have to come, whether it's going to be round table, whether it's square table, whatever shape the table might be, they all have to come together so that the peace and then the tranquility and the progress that we all desire for the university system, university community, the academia, we achieve that by not excluding anybody.
BK, and for that matter, the days of Aluta days should be behind us. We have seen enough.
I don't think we can wish Aluta away, because if government routinely fails to honor its obligation, you don't expect them to keep quiet. If a court pronounced IPPIS illegal for universities and said disenroll them from IPPIS, and as we speak, about 1.5 years after, it has not been implemented. Do you expect them to keep quiet? Of course, they will protest. Because the IPPI is too unitary in nature. It's not designed for the university environment. Everyone knows this. It's just that we don't like the truth in our country. As for the matter of CONUA was registered in 2022 by the Buhari regime. The trouble that ASU was given the federal government and the Minister of Labour at that time, Chris Ngige, was what hastened the registration of Konwa. Yes, they had complained that some of their members were oppressed, needlessly punished under ASU regime, and that this was what caused ASU to be divided. But when you look at Konwa, if you have to choose between Konwa and ASU, in terms of the number of people that ASU represents, Konwa literally does not exist beside ASU. In fact, there are very few tertiary institutions, universities, where Konwa is present. So I don't know why the federal government chose to do this, but if you look at what they have done, the other groups, the other unions within the university system, they have different non-academic staff union, NASU, you have SANU, Senior Staff Association. So you have all of those ones. People who provide support services for the academic staff. They were all represented. What they fail to do now is to say, okay, academic staff, let's have two representatives.
Yes. All right.
They refuse to do that. Well, indeed, Konwa is registered legally. But at that time, Konwa felt the approach of ASU was wrong, and they saw themselves as alternatives to ASU, you know. But look at the way they've been treated. They kept saying, look, we are not interested in strike. But when they were going to seize money, or those who...
no work, no pay.
They seized money meant for Konwa. They seized
so they were not excluded.
So they were not excluded. They suffered it together. So in this case now, you rebelled against your own colleagues.
Yeah. And then you want to be...
You were silent as your colleagues fought aggressively the oppressor. You were silent. You behaved like you were not seeing what was going on. Now, the same oppressor has decided to sideline you and chose to pick ASU, listed ASU among the unions in the universities that will take part in that renegotiation. Yeah. That should get Konwa thinking.
But NASU, but NASU, there's also Crime Foul and SANU. They were not given fair recognition.
No, they were listed.
But
you
not giving fair, that's the problem.
Those are different things. This one, they were not listed.
Yes, I know that exactly. Yeah.
But
they have a feeling that they were given footnote treatment.
Okay.
It's a different...
Yes, different.
But I wonder if this is anything to do with what we are discussing. ASU is spoiling for war.
Yes, we discussed that some weeks back.
Yeah.
You see, the solution is not... Maybe there was a renegotiation. Federal government set up the Musalin Jibrin committee. It refused to implement its recommendation. You are the one who set it up. They set up Neme Briggs. Neme Briggs is dead now. They set up his committee. He recommended salary for VCs and the rest of them. Because for a long time, you did not adjust these people's salaries upward. He said, still, you did not honor the agreement I reached. So now they want to set up another one.
The fourth one.
What is the guarantee that when they now set this one up again, they will be happy?
You will honor.
Yes.
No, I think what they're looking for, the one that was okay. Let's forget the past and move forward.
And this person now, this person, Yali Ahmed, former head of service, is now a product of the academic
university system, academia. Yes.
And so maybe they will feel comfortable because the other people, Musalin Jibrin was
all of them were the
executive secretary. Neme Briggs was a lecturer, and all that at Uniport at some point. So I guess they found somebody now outside of the university. Maybe that one will
say, let's forget about the past and then
maybe that one will not support his colleagues. He will not support the academics. He will now come up with what government
want to hear.
But you see, the thing is, even agreement is supposed to be product of what you said.
What is an agreement? It's agree. We agree
not
to
that,
especially
not that chairman will force.
Especially when the agreement is mutually appended to.
Yes. You have to.
And they call it memorandum of understanding.
Yes.
We understand
this.
Not
memorandum of misunderstanding.
No?
All right, folks. I hear we must apply the brakes here, but not before thanking BKO for your time. Thank you.
Yes.
Now I know your town is getting like.
No, his village is becoming a town.
Oh,
we used to. We enjoy going to watch masquerade. Watching masquerade in Ekene in those days was so much fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it
we still have them.
Okay.
They do what they call.
But you're not
on Yigori.
Okay.
Oh,
that's fine.
Charles,
all the people don't know what masquerade. It's so much fun. All these people.
They don't know.
Foreign religions came. We embraced.
We have we have to call it Oimiya in my place.
Come and watch masquerade.
We must go. Don't
Ajibele.
Don't take me to the village.
Come to Oimiya in my
Don't
place.
take me to the village. Let's go. That's it on the program Journalist Hangout for this week. You may watch a repeat broadcast at 11 later tonight. And of course on Sunday from between 1:30 and 3:30 p.m. we serve you a 2-hour bash. The program is also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now. Take care.
Is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Are you tired of spending countless hours in the kitchen, wrestling with cumbersome appliances, and juggling multiple tasks just to prepare a single meal? Frustrated with messy cleanups from different tools that never seem to get the job done right? Do you wish there was one solution that could handle all your blending, chopping, and grinding needs effortlessly? Introducing the CookX 4-in-1 Blender. It's a food processor, a mixer, a grinder, a blender, and a juicer, all in one. Our CookX 4-in-1 blender is here to take your cooking to a whole new level. This versatile blender comes with 3 convenient cup sizes, each designed for specific tasks to make your life easier. First, the 650 ml cup, perfect for mincing meat, pounding yam, and chopping vegetables. Save time and effort with this powerful accessory. Next, the 450 ml cup, ideal for grinding coffee, spices, and more. And the 1.8 liter cup, perfect for blending fruits for smoothies, peppers, and yes, even blending beans. Lastly, the CookX 4-in-1 blender comes with a convenient filter. Now, you can create delicious, nutritious smoothies and meals with ease. The secret of the CookX blender is the 800-watt motor combined with a precision extractor blade that gives you the power to turn ordinary foods into extraordinary foods. And different speeds give you the complete control you need. Savory stew, delicious egusi, tasty blended beans for akara and moi moi, pounded yam, and everything in between.
The CookX 4-in-1 blender has been a game changer for me. It takes the hassle out of meal prep and lets me whip up healthy treats for my family in no time.
The CookX 4-in-1 blender is the only blender I use in my kitchen. Its variable speed control lets me achieve the exact texture I need for each dish.
With its easy twist locking technology and powerful motor, the CookX 4-in-1 blender is engineered to tackle the blending challenge you face.
The global best-selling CookX 4-in-1 blender is now available in Nigeria, exclusively from ShopX TV. Call the number on the screen now and get the CookX 4-in-1 blender for just 189,915 naira. The CookX 4-in-1 blender comes with one powerful 800W motor base, one easy twist extractor blade, one 1.8 liter cup, one 650 ml cup, one 450 ml cup, one filter, 2 lids, and one dry grinder. All this for just 189,915 naira. You can get the CookX 4-in-1 blender with 2 easy payments of 94,975 naira. That's right, pay twice to get this amazing blender. But hurry, this exclusive ShopX TV offer is for a limited period only.
The preceding was a paid presentation brought to you by Shop.
The TVC News at 7 and the TVC News at 10 are not like any other news broadcast.
It's the big news app.
Aqua is my fatherland.
We will invite all Akwa Ibomites to arise to the faith of greatness with our Rise agenda.
The sun is rising, the land is peaceful, it's so amazing that I can see. I want you to fly, yeah. Oh, say, I am the future, yeah.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking it.
Hello and welcome. This is Beyond 100 Days with Nifemi Oguntoye. Join the conversation right now on X using the hashtag Beyond 100 Days. Remember to tag at TVC News NJ. Jigawa residents are still mourning the death of their loved ones after a devastating petrol tank explosion tore through Majia town in Taura local government area. More than 168 persons have now died, with over 100 others fighting for their lives with severe burns. The National Emergency Management Agency has swiftly responded and now providing critical support to the affected families. NEMA's Director General Zubaida Umar has assured that the agency, as directed by the federal government, is doing everything possible to ensure affected victims receive proper care.
Tragic and catastrophic incident, and it's something that we pray will never happen again. We've visited the hospitals. We've also been at the scene with this delegation from the federal government, and as you can see, the National Emergency Management Agency, in conjunction with the State Emergency Management Agency, has been on ground from when this happened, and we're still on ground. We visited the hospitals today, and we're going to complement the efforts of the state government by providing more drugs to assist.
The accurate number now is 168. This we realize some of them some of them are not together with the population of the first burial. The second scene of the burial, some people were taken to their homes for burial.
With the inauguration of Road Safety Advisory Council by the Vice President about 2 weeks ago, things are going to change. We are going to get more care, more attention, and more funding, so that together we reduce the crashes.
Still in Jigawa State, Governor Omar Namadi has commended President Bola Tinubu for his swift response and commitment to the well-being of victims of the devastating tanker explosion. The governor said the actions of Mr. President demonstrates a sense of concern and responsibility. President Tinubu had sent a high-powered delegation to condole with the people and government of Jigawa State.
Mr. President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for the concern he has shown since this thing happened to us in Jigawa State. Mr. President has asked his aide to call me immediately this thing happened, and he sympathized with us and he condoled us. And again, today he has sent a high-powered delegation under the leadership of the Secretary to the Federal Government. They came here, we went around with them since in the morning. They have seen some of the patients in the hospital, and we have also gone to the scene of the incidents. They have condoled the people, and we also went to the palace of the Emir of Ringim. They have condoled the Emir. So I think, and what the message conveyed by the Secretary to the State Government from the President is something that is giving us a lot of hope as a Jigawa people.
Elsewhere, Governor of Rivers State Siminalayi Fubara has approved 85,000 naira new minimum wage for workers. Governor Fubara's decision comes amid negotiations between state governments and organized labor on the implementation of the 70,000 naira minimum wage approved by the federal government. Rivers State is second to pay 85,000 naira new minimum wage to workers after Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu earlier on in the week announced that his government plans to pay workers a minimum wage of 85,000 naira. This week also, the Ondo State governor pegged minimum wage in that part of the country at 73,000 naira. Let's cross quickly to the nation's capital, where the 90th public lecture birthday celebration for the former head of state, Yakubu Gowon, is currently ongoing at the ECOWAS Secretariat in Abuja. In attendance are former President of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, the President of the African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, former Senate President Bukola Saraki, His Eminence Muhammadu Abubakar Sultan of Sokoto, and other political bigwigs in the country. Yakubu Gowon was Nigeria's head of state from 1966 to 1975. He ruled during the Nigerian Civil War and took power after the 1966 Nigerian counter-coup and was overthrown in the 1975 coup d'etat. Now to our big story of the day. INEC has announced Saturday, 8th November 2025 as the date for the next governorship election in Anambra State. The commission says the party primaries would be held in the state from 20th March 2025 to 10th of April 2025. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu announced this on Thursday at the 4th regular quarterly consultative meeting with political parties at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. He said the date was chosen in compliance with Section 28, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act of 2022, which required INEC to issue the notice for elections not later than 360 days before the date of the election. And in Ondo State, the Commission is working in earnest to deliver a credible election. Collection of permanent voter cards begins today, 17th to 21st of October 2024. The cards, we understand, will be available for collection at 8 of the 203 wards across the state. Thereafter, the cards will be available for collection in 18 local government area offices in the state for 1 week. That's between 23rd to 29th of October 2024. The centers will be open to citizens between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. daily, and that's according to INEC. But how are residents and political parties warming up for the November 16th election, and how is the electoral umpire faring? I'm joined now by political analyst Abubakar Issa, live from our Abuja studio. Mr. Issa, thank you so much for talking to us. We've seen how these staggered elections present INEC with opportunities of improvement before the big one. But how much of that have we seen with subsequent elections? The commission, for instance, was largely criticized for allegations of malpractice in the just concluded Edo State election. We had the PDP candidate on TVC News last night talking about how he has evidence of electoral malpractice in that exercise. Talk to us about the perception of INEC, even with all of these staggered elections.
Thank you. Politicians, it has become the tradition of all politicians in this country that after the outcome of elections are announced, the losers always disagree. But this does not mean that INEC is doing a perfect job. INEC needs to up its ante so that we can have a better elections, especially with the use of technology, that we can surmount the challenges that are being faced right now with elections in the country. We want to encourage INEC to continue to do the right thing so that Nigeria can move forward.
Appears to be a direct relationship between people's perception of INEC's integrity and their trust in the process and even in election exercise entirely. You saw the aftermath of the 2023 general election and all the other elections we've had thus far. What is missing with the Commission's conduct of the exercise? What do you consider the bane of people's perception of INEC over the years?
Yes, the concern generally from the last election of 2023 and the recent, the just concluded elections in Edo State, the concern has been that elections results are not transmitted electronically, that the use of beavers should be highly encouraged, and it should serve as a basis for the acceptance or otherwise of our elections. People generally, from what we have heard and what we have seen, they believe that beavers, the use of beavers will be able to help us and will be able to give credibility to elections in Nigeria. So I want to seriously encourage and suggest to INEC that everything should be put in place so that they can restore the belief of the people in elections in Nigeria. Because if the results are not transmitted, it casts doubt, because people can change election results along the way. So, but once it is transmitted from the polling unit, as at when elections, the results are counted, transmit the elections. So, in that case, nobody will be able to change the result again. This has been the major concern of Nigerians.
Issue has been with the integrity of INEC officials. You recall that in Edo election, there were concerns about the affiliation of the resident electoral commissioner with a particular minister, and the fact that he had worked with him as a commissioner, and whether or not that would not impact on his decision on election day. INEC declined the request of redeploying him. Just this week, during its campaign flag-off, the PDP has also called for the redeployment of the resident electoral commissioner in Ondo State. What do you think should be the commission's reaction to concerns like this?
The commission needs to make Nigerians to have confidence in all of its activities, especially in the case of Edo State. Because of the affiliation, the alleged affiliation of the resident electoral commissioner and the minister for the FCT, it was something that INEC should have redeployed. You don't give people the chance to doubt your credibility. It affects the outcome of the election. So once any political party is not comfortable based on clear allegations that can be substantiated, then what INEC needs to do is to redeploy, because you have more hands in INEC that can do the job, so that at the end of the day, you don't give the party the chance to cast doubt in the outcome of the elections. So I think INEC needs to look at it very well, so that people can have confidence in the outcome of the elections in Nigeria, because the elections, the outcome will determine whatever happens after the results are declared.
I remember having a conversation with the rec in Edo at the time, and he mentioned that, yes, I am Wiki's cousin, but that doesn't stop me from working for INEC, and that he's a professor in his own right who has his integrity to protect. And it went on by saying there was no provision within the law that requires that he doesn't work for INEC based on his affiliation with a politician. We're going to talk about how this is impacting the Ondo election, especially with concerns raised with the resident electoral commissioner. But that will be after this break. Stay with us, everyone. How is INEC preparing to ahead of the Ondo State governorship election next month, especially with concerns that have now been raised by the People's Democratic Party with the integrity of its resident electoral commissioner? Abubakar Isa, political analyst, is live with me. He joins us live from our Abuja studio. Thank you for staying the course on the program. PDP is talking about the origin of the woman in question, citing it as a cause for concern. I had the publicity secretary of PDP in Ondo on the show yesterday saying that they have evidence that the woman is meeting with the Ondo State governor, even though he couldn't prove it beyond that statement yesterday. How critical are these allegations, especially when you hear the Oyo State governor saying that they intend to see this to some logical conclusion?
It is laughable. Which faction of the PDP is making the allegation? Because we have different factions. Is it the faction of the Damagul, or which faction? As it stands, you see, I was more concerned about the Edo election. But in the case of Ondo State, it is... there's actually not going to, there's not going to be any difficulty in Mr. Lucky emerging victoriously as the winner. And I tell you this, the law does not allow Mr. Lucky to be sworn in 2 times again. He can only be sworn in for another term. And this, based on my understanding of politicians in this country, it is politically expedient for them to support Mr. Lucky to emerge as the next governor of Ondo State, because that will afford them the opportunity of contesting the next 4 years. Let me tell you this. Take this from me, that all the political parties in Ondo State are indirectly supporting Mr. Lucky, because they know that in the next 4 years, they will be able to contest the election and then emerge victoriously if they do their homework very well. But if Mr. Agbola of PDP, who is another major contender for the position of governor of Ondo State, emerges, he will stay there for another 8 years. One thing we need to understand also is that in Ondo State, Mr. Lucky is actually lucky that he comes from the senatorial zone that is expected to produce the next governor of Ondo State. And he has served as deputy governor and then become the governor of Ondo State, meaning he has been sworn in once, and the next election now he will be sworn in the second term. If he is sworn in the second term, in the next 4 years, any other politician will be able to come out and contest. So this allegation.
But if you turn the coin, there is what they call the Ilaje tenure concerns, which is what you just talked about. The question of whether Governor Aiyedatiwa's unique situation, like you have mentioned, would impact on the opportunity of the people of Ilaje of having an 8-year tenure, bearing in mind that the PDP candidate is also from the same zone. So for the same reason you have mentioned is why the PDP is saying they even stand a better chance to win this election, because they can tell the people that, you know what, we'll give you 2 terms, contrary to the incumbent governor who only has a chance to be sworn in 1 more time.
No, that is also to the advantage of the governor of Ondo State at the moment, because his people, after he served the next term of 4 years, his people can also put up argument that yes, no, our son did only 4 years, so we need to also complete our term of office, and then somebody from his own can also contest again, and if he's popular, he can still win. So in all situations, everything favors Mr. Lucky, and his name is Lucky, and he's actually very lucky. So there's nothing for anybody to say. In the case of Ondo State, it is going to be a ceremony. Don't forget that the governor of Ondo State is of APC, and the APC at the moment has the most politically savvy leader of the party, which is Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, who understands the game very well, and he has not lost any election since his emergence as national chairman of the All Progressives Congress. You cannot take away strategy from elections. And the man at the helm of affairs of the political party of the governor of Ondo State, Dr. Umar Abdullahi Ganduje, is a man that understands the game very well. And that's why most people say that, yes, whatever you can say about the president and commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you can say, but you can never take away the fact that he is the most politically intelligent leader you have in the country. And that was why he picked somebody who understands the game, supported him. Very
interesting observation and school of thought. When you said he had not lost an election, I was wondering what you were saying, because he did lose perhaps the most important election when he was living as governor of Kano, and he lost to the NNPP that he even did not get as much votes, more votes than that party in the presidential election. But let us drive this down to the people of Ondo and what this means for the coming election. Are you saying that it wouldn't matter now how Governor Aiyedatiwa has performed in the past 10 months? Are you saying that the electorate will not determine who the next governor is going to be, and all of this lies in the hands of politicians who are making political calculations?
Before I talk about the performance of Governor Lucky of Ondo State, let me correct the perception that the former governor of Kano State and the national chairman of APC lost in Kano State. No, he never lost. It was a strange situation in 2023 because of the performance of the former president Muhammadu Buhari. And let me tell you that the governorship election, the candidate of APC in Kano State got close to 1 million votes. We are not talking about million naira. We are talking about 1 million votes for the candidate of APC. The margin between the NNPP and that of the APC in Kano State was very slim. The governor of Kano State defeated the candidate of APC with a very slim margin. And that shows the capacity of Dr. Umar Abdullahi Ganduje. The fact that the people of the Northwest, where the former president of Nigeria came from, were very angry with the APC at that time. Because, let me tell you one thing very well, so that Nigerians will not be misled. The fact that the road from Abuja to Kano was not constructed affected the outcome of the election and so many other reasons, which is not what we are discussing for today. So, Governor Umar, the former governor...
I hear you, Mr. Issa. But it's also important that we don't misinform the public. His party lost that election. It doesn't matter how many votes he got. The NNPP had more votes. That is accurate. That is fact, right?
The situation at that time needs to be put into consideration and to give him the credit that he deserved, that he brought about 1 million votes for the All Progressives Congress, which I have just stated why the APC lost the election. And you can see what is happening in Kano State. Virtually all the big wigs in NNPP are returning back to APC now. That is a credit to Dr. Umar Abdullahi Ganduje, who supported this man so that he can be able to pilot the affairs of the party so that Nigeria can move forward. So coming to your question about the performance of Governor Lucky, there is nothing to show that Governor Lucky has not done very well. He has done very well and deserves another term. I have spoken to my friends from Ondo State. I visited Ondo State some times back. I have been speaking with my friends. And his humility, the humility of Governor Lucky, and his desire to carry everybody around the political arrangements that will favor politicians, he's coming more to be able to win the next election, not only because of the political arrangements, which is also favoring him. So I want to tell you, and you will call me back after the elections to say that Abubakar Atiku, you were right, because the next election, you will see the margin of lead. APC will win with a very wide margin in the next governorship election. The other faction of PDP is only trying to make excuses now, so that after they lose the election, they will come. They will say, "Oh, INEC did not do this. INEC did not do that." But this election is going to be a celebration because the entire people of Ondo State are coming together to support their son to continue in office.
Well, I guess we'll see how that play out in the coming weeks and in November. Political analyst Abubakar Issa Atiku, thank you so much for talking to us on the program this evening.
Thank you for having me.
And that's our show today. You can watch it again at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifebi Oguntoye. Thanks for joining us.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV Station of the Year, not just TVC News. First with breaking news.
The TVC News at 7 and the TVC News at 10 are not like some of the best reporters on the field.
Taking you through as it happened.
It's fast-paced, hard-hitting.
With him.
Akwa Ibom is my fatherland. God bless Akwa. We will invite all Akwa Ibomites to arise to the faith of greatness with our Rise agenda. The sun is rising, the land is peaceful. It's so amazing that I can see. I want you to know, I am the future,
Information is power, information is security, information is knowledge. On Labor Lens, we believe that working people around the world have real questions of their own. They want to know how the world of work operates, what it means to the employer of labor, how policies affect workers in the workplace. On Labor Lens, I ensure we engage effectively the organized labor, organized private sector, and government to get out of them information workers are in need of. I am Sharon Ijason, asking questions that make you get sense of the workplace.
Every second, every minute, every hour, and every day, time doesn't just tick away. It's a countdown to political decisions that shape our world.
This country must move.
Imagine the impact these decisions have on our lives. Some are consequential, others may leave us intrigued or baffled.
You will have no better friend and partner than Nigeria.
Step in and feel the frenzy like never before. Join me every weekday for an hour of fact-finding interviews where questions cut to the core.
How would you say your administration has fared in these sectors?
I will dig in to get to the heart of issues, from local politics to global insight. Join me as I unearth the power plays, jaw-dropping revelations and the unfiltered truth. This isn't just politics, it's unraveling the stories that matter. Brace yourself for Politics Tonight every weekday at 8 p.m., where every decision echoes along the corridors of our lives. Politics Tonight, only on TVC News.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Good evening out there. You're watching the latest segment of our testimonial program, a platform that will tell you everything you need to know about community-spirited programs being delivered across 57 municipalities in Lagos State. I'm Ibrahim Ogunyemi. Here's a preview of the packages we've got for you today.
The International Day of the Girl Child, observed annually on October 11, was established by the United Nations General Assembly in 2011, aimed at promoting girls' rights, girls' empowerment, and bridging inequalities faced by girls. In line with its goals, the authorities of Badagry local government, in collaboration with Otumba Shonayo Towolawi Foundation, hosted female pupils, entrepreneurs, and artisans in the municipality. The founder, OSTF, Bolaji Shonayo, said the program aimed at elevating the importance of the girl child and uplifting them in various circumstances. The event was livened up with music, demonstration of talent, dancing, and games as best performers received gifts. Invited guests called on major organs in society to create a safe, thriving, and enabling environment for women to succeed, while the pupils were urged to remain dedicated to their studies for a brighter future.
If we can train our girl child very well, give them good education, very sound moral background and foundation, they can be the best. What a man can do, a woman can equally do better.
A good recognition and a form of encouragement for our future girls, that though they are girls for today, but that the tomorrow belongs to them. But they cannot make the future without hard work, without dedication, and without setting for themselves goals, and without having mentors, people they look onto, that they can at least do much better than those people they're looking ahead of.
Awards of excellence were presented to girls and women who have stood out and made an impact in the Badagry community. Council officials and attending pupils also highlighted their key takeaways from the program, commending the organizers.
Like you have heard already, they have been told at the high table that they need to motivate themselves, they need to look for a good mentor. Then at the same time, they need to have visions for themselves. What will they become in the future? And as you can see, the world is becoming women's world already. They need to buckle up. They should just be motivated and know that they hold a very high position in the society as girl child.
I want to first of all appreciate the organizer of this program, because it's a big one and we really appreciate it. At least it's giving sense of belonging to our girl child. It makes them know that as a girl, you can achieve a lot. You can go higher. You can break bands. So I appreciate it.
We are celebrating it because we the girls in the society and in the society, many people think we are not important and we are not of much value. So we are celebrating the World Girls Day today to make people to know that we are more than what they think we are.
Thank you for the privilege of coming to this type of important and opportune event. We promise that we'll make the best out of it.
I want to thank the Badagry local government and the organizers of this program, because it has really enlightened us on this program that girl children are important and they play a vital role in the society.
It is hoped that the pupils in Badagry local government will feel empowered as change drivers and leaders. It is hoped that pupils in the Badagry local government will feel empowered as change drivers and leaders. The lawmaker representing Ojo Constituency 1 at the Lagos State House of Assembly, Ege Olusegun, recently hosted the annual constituency meeting, with the critical issue of food security taking center stage. Political office holders, community leaders, representatives of relevant community organs discussed the possibility of achieving food sufficiency through increased homegrown farming and youth participation. The lawmaker highlighted the measures and schemes facilitated by the state government in conjunction with the Lagos State House of Assembly to boost agricultural productivity, as he advocated for increased youth participation in farming.
As we convene here to tackle the processing issue of ensuring food security, youth participation in farming and homegrown farming, it is important to raise that this is the motive, factor, challenges in the required areas. Let us therefore collaborate to build a food security future for Lagos State, Nigeria. A future where our youth are empowered, our farmers thrive, and our communities flourish with abundant food. Together we can celebrate a sustainable food system that benefits all of us.
Enveloped cash were also distributed to senior citizens and indigents to provide respite amidst the nationwide economic challenges. Stakeholders and council executives remarked on the significance of the theme, commending the lawmaker for its outstanding service to the electorate.
It will not surprise everybody that we are having a town hall meeting organized by Lagos State government. Today we are having the second edition of Honorable Ege in office. So this is the second edition, and you can see people that troop out to witness what he wants to dish out for people and the lecture he wants to give everybody. Thank God we are here and we appreciate him. There is nothing that we can do than to appreciate him for what he has done and for what he is doing now. So God will continue to bless him more and more.
Thank God the meeting, the consistent meeting is a good one. It enables us for the House of Assembly to tell us what he has done and to tell us what they intend to do and to tell us what government intends to do for the people. You know, however the government have done, the House of Assembly needs to come back home to have a consistent meeting with their people so that they come and relate what they intend doing and what they want to do for the people.
It's going to empower people, those people that are in need, those people that are unable, you see, to withstand the present situation of Nigeria. But with this program, at least they will be able to do something, to have something. And we pray that God Almighty will continue to help them, to empower them also, so that they will be able to do better.
The meeting is indicative of the Lagos State House of Assembly's dedication to youth empowerment and responsiveness to the national issues bedeviling the citizenry. The leadership of Iro Victoria Highland recently trained 50 youths in solar installation and technology design, an initiative aimed at promoting self-sufficiency, entrepreneurship, and advocating for sustainable energy sources. Speaking at the graduation exercise, which held at the council premises, Municipal Chair Rashida Hadu said the training is one of the many community-based empowerment programs designed to improve the quality of lives of residents, restating our commitment to assisting youths dedicated to self-development.
Since we are all aware that when you train a youth, you are actually training the nation and also laying a good foundation for the future. Today's graduation is a tip of the iceberg. We will ensure that the educational and vocational training system is standardized in our local council development area by providing necessary amenities, infrastructure that will help the developmental ability of our people. In conclusion, I'm also elated to see all the youth graduating successfully after a 1-month training. And I urge you all, those who have benefited from these programs, to make use of their expertise by training other people around them.
Graduates exhibited the solar technology knowledge acquired in the course of the training. Certificates of proficiency and essential solar installation kits were distributed to the graduates to kickstart their businesses. A solar-powered charging station was also unveiled to enable residents to power their electronic devices aimed at saving energy costs. The beneficiaries were encouraged to fully leverage the opportunity and disseminate acquired knowledge to benefit others within their communities.
My advice to them is that the kits that we give them, they should not sell. And they should also see themselves as an employer of labor, even from this moment. Because the knowledge that they have, they are going to impact that on others. And there is no knowledge that is a waste if you know how to practicalize what you have learned. And for them to have acquired skill. Skill is not all of us that will wear suits or have a white-collar job. Whatever skill that you acquire, he will acquire it to be with you for